Good evening, everyone. This is a public meeting of the Board of Education of Clark Public Schools. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with PL 1975, Chapter 231, and the special notice was made in conformance with Section 13 of the Act.
Can I get a motion to return to public? I see Mr. Smorl, followed by Ms. Guerrero. Roll call.
All in favor?
Aye. Perfect. And at this time, can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. So at this time, we get a roll call.
Ms. Akalonis? Here. Mr. Bensavinga? Mr. Breedy?
Here.
Ms. Harrison?
Here.
Ms. Guerrero?
Here.
Ms. Hickman?
Here.
Mr. Lewis? Mr. May?
Present.
Mr. Smurl?
Here.
And Mr. Dunkersloot.
Here.
Having 10 board members who have a quorum.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to do the presentation of the 23-24 school year audit. Mr. Parenti's going to fill us in.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Andrew Parenti. I'm with Lurch, Vinci & Bliss. We have completed your audit for the year ending June 30th, 2024. We've issued 2 reports. The larger of the 2 reports is your annual comprehensive financial report, and then the smaller of the 2 reports would be your auditor's management report. Included in the management report would be any findings and recommendations, if any. As I indicated, you received this annual comprehensive financial report. It's made up of 4 sections. The first section would be an introductory section, which is a very brief narrative of your school district. The second part would be the management discussion and analysis, which is your financial statements in a narrative form. The third section would be your financial section, which would include an auditor's opinion, various financial statements, and then footnotes to those financial statements. And then the last section would be a statistical section, which would include miscellaneous statistics of both the municipality and the school district. As I indicated, there's an auditor's opinion attached to your financial statements for the year ended June 30th, 2024. That's an unmodified opinion. What that means is that your financial statements are fairly stated and free of material misstatement. That's a clean opinion. That's the opinion that you want to receive and obtain on an annual basis. What I would like to briefly do is discuss the district's fund balance at June 30th, 2024. The district ended the year with $8,466,000 in fund balance. That is restricted or designated for several purposes, and I'll briefly discuss the major ones. The first classification would be what is referred to as excess surplus in the amount of $2.8 million. That's going to be the minimum amount of fund balance that you use when you prepare your 25-26 school budget, the budget you'll be preparing this spring. The second section would be your excess surplus designated for subsequent years' expenditures in the amount of $2.2 million. That was fund balance that you used in the 24-25 school year, the year we're currently in, that was used as a revenue source for your budget. The next major piece would be capital reserve in the amount of $949,000, and then the district has also set aside a maintenance reserve for $926,000. There are year-end encumbrances in the amount of $74,000. Those are basically just orders that were entered into, but they weren't paid before June 30th. The district also designated another $246,000 as a revenue source in 24-25. And then the last major piece of your fund balance would be your unassigned fund balance in the amount of $1.2 million. Okay? And then as far as recommendations are concerned, we had one recommendation with regards to the before and after school program, and that was that our audit of the before and after school program revealed that the enrollment registration forms for the Valley Road School were not available for audit. The binder that they were in was misplaced, couldn't be located. Although we didn't have the applications, we we were able to do alternate order procedures like analytical review, and we obtained the comfort level with the transactions of the program through those means. If there's any questions, I'd be glad to address those at this point.
So I just want to say, first of all, thank you, Mr. Parente, and I also want to thank Mr. Fazzuzu and his staff for the job that they've done during the year to allow us to have such an effective control environment and such a clean audit. So, Paul, thank you, and pass on that congratulations to the rest of your staff.
Any other comments? No. Mr. Brandy, thanks so much.
And thanks for having me. Have a great night.
All right, so moving on from that, we'll get the, can I get a motion for approval of minutes from last month? I see Ms. Guerrero, followed by Mr. Breedy. Any questions or comments? We'll take a roll call, please.
Ms. Akalonis?
Yes.
Mr. Breedy?
Yes.
Ms. Harrison?
Yes.
Ms. Guerrero?
Yes.
Ms. Hickman?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. May?
Yes.
Mr. Smurl?
Yes.
And Mr. Dunkersloot?
Yes.
Motion carried.
At this time, we'll open the floor to the public for agenda items only, so if there's anything you'd like to discuss that is on the agenda, now would be the time. Seeing none, we'll go to personnel. We have items 1 through 14. Can I get a motion? Can I get a motion? I get Ms. Akalonis and Ms. Harrison. Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Ms. Akalonis?
Yes.
Mr. Breedy?
Yes.
Ms. Harrison?
Yes.
Ms. Guerrero?
Abstain on 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, yes on the rest.
Thank you. Ms. Hickman?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. May?
Yes.
Mr. Smurl?
Yes.
And Mr. Dunkersloot?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Mr. Lewis?
Yeah, I want to make a comment to congratulate Mike Chariton as well as Anne Marie Esteves, two fantastic, outstanding educators, one in the high school, one at Henley. They were very effective. They did great things in the Clark schools. So I want to congratulate them on their effort, and they certainly made the schools better.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Any other comments on personnel? All right, moving on to curriculum, we have items 15 and 16. Can I get a motion? See Ms. Akalonis and Mr. May. Questions or comments? Comments? Roll call, please.
Ms. Akalonis?
Yes.
Mr. Breedy?
Yes.
Ms. Harrison?
Yes.
Ms. Guerrero?
Abstain on 15, yes on 16.
Ms. Hickman?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. May?
Yes.
Mr. Smurl?
Yes.
And Mr. Dunkersloot?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Board governance, we have items 17 to 22. Can I get a motion? Mr. Breedy? Mr. May? Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Ms. Akalonis?
Yes.
Mr. Breedy?
Yes.
Ms. Harrison?
Yes.
Ms. Guerrero?
Abstain on 18 and 20, yes on the rest.
Ms. Hickman?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. May?
Yes.
Mr. Smurl?
Yes.
And Mr. Dunkersloot?
Yes.
Motion carried.
And then finally, we have finance items 23 through 30. Can I get a motion? Mr. Smurl, followed by, can I get a second? Mr. Breedy. Questions or comments on those? Roll call, please.
Ms. Akalonis?
Yes.
Mr. Breedy?
Yes.
Ms. Harrison?
Yes.
Ms. Guerrero?
Yes.
Ms. Hickman?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. May?
Yes.
Mr. Smurl?
Yes.
And Mr. Dunkersloot?
Yes.
Motion carried.
At this time, we'll hand it over to Mr. Grandy for the report of the superintendent.
Good evening, and thank you, Mr. Donkersloot. Again, many thanks, Mr. Vizzuzo, for a job well done, and thank you to our Finance Committee led by Mr. Smorrell, Mr. Breedy, and now Mr. May as members, and our entire board. On this evening's agenda, we're accepting the retirement of Michael Sheridan, an ALJ mathematics teacher for 23 years, and Mrs. Estevez, most recently in Frank Hanley School, grade 3, 36 years in our district. And lastly, Mrs. Diane McAvoy, our Carl H. Kumpf Middle School secretary for 32 years. All three of them will be missed, and we're looking forward to hearing about their next life steps. The Clark Connects to the Past Social Studies Camp will be held again this summer, July 28th through August 1st, for students entering grades 4 to 7, and registration information regarding that program will be forthcoming shortly. And we also accepted the calendar revisions based on the statewide change to the primary election day in June. Our school closure for students and our PD day for staff is being moved from Tuesday the 3rd of June to Tuesday the 10th of June. And our second snow give back day, knock on wood, we don't have bad weather this winter, will be moved to correspond with the school closure day from Monday, June the 2nd to Monday, June the 9th. Our preschool and kindergarten registration process is underway, taking place completely online through Genesis. Information is posted on our district website, and please feel free to reach out to Mrs. Bannock, our district residency officer and registrar, for any questions. Our Princeton Review SAT prep classes began last week. We have 25 students in our Monday and Wednesday class and 15 students in our Tuesday and Thursday class, both in preparation for the March test. There'll be another class beginning in March in preparation for the May test. If any juniors are still interested in registering, we have spots for the second semester, so to speak, of the program, and please reach out to your school counselor. School will be closed in 2 weeks on Monday, February 17th in honor of President's Day. Each district is required to report to the public twice yearly, detailing the number of incidences of violence, vandalism, substances, weapons, and confirmed HIB cases that have been recorded for the given reporting period, in this case September 1st through December 31st. 34 cases were reported for ALJ, 13 for Carl H. Kumpf, 4 for Frank Hanley School, and 8 for Valley Road School. And lastly, this week is our National School Counselor Week. Many thanks to Mr. Amendola as our director, our school counseling staff across the district, and the support staff in the office for a job very well done for our students and even our staff. Thank you and have a great evening.
Thank you, Mr. Grandy. At this time, do we have any report of the committees? Seeing none, we'll go to unfinished or new business. All right, seeing none. Oh, yeah.
I just want to echo what Mr. Grande said about School Counselor Appreciation Week. From the board, I want to say thank you to all of our district school counselors. They play a pivotal role in all of our children's lives, and I think it's really important to acknowledge them this week and always.
Thank you, Ms. Harrison. Any other comments? All right, seeing none, we're going to pass it over to Aiden for the student board member update.
Thank you, and good evening. I'll begin my report with events at Arthur L. Johnson High School. On January 31st, all 10th grade students took their driver's ed exam. To ensure that all the test takers would not be missing important classes, all 9th, 11th, and 12th grade students reported to the school at 9:20, and the school operated on a delayed opening schedule. On January 14th, ALJ offered a new and creative way for 7th graders to get involved and get acclimated with ALJ before coming here, through the 7th grade scavenger hunt. Students went around the school finding ALJ-related letters in different classrooms and worked together to create posters using these letters. Looking at Kumpf Middle School, their Science Olympiad team made some great strides last month. After coming in the top 5 of the last regional tournament, they will now be moving on to state finals in March. Also at Kumpf, the marking period ended on January 30th, with report cards to be posted on February 4th. Finally, students at Kumpf will have a chance to get in the hot seat and help teach classes with their upcoming Teacher for a Day auction on February 21st. Over at Frank A. Henley, students and teachers will be showing their appreciation for one another with Random Act of Kindness Week from February 10th to the 14th. Despite the fact that it feels like the school year just started, the Henley students will also be celebrating their 100th day of school on February 12th. Finally, on Valentine's Day, students will exchange cards with their classmates. In January, Valley Road 5th graders had the opportunity to attend the Colonial Job Fair, in which students studied various careers from colonial America. In February, Valley Road students will also be celebrating their 100th day of school on February 12th. Following that, on February 13th, they will be hosting International Day at 6 p.m., which invites students and parents to learn about a series of different cultures. Finally, in regards to the preschool, after much work and preparation, they have opened up their full-day preschool, which opens up new opportunities to so many young children. Thank you.
Thank you, Aiden.
Great job.
So at this time, we will open the floor to the public for non-agenda items only. So if there's anything you'd like to speak about, now is your time. Come to the podium. You have 3 minutes per topic and cannot return until everybody else has a chance to speak.
Bill Draghi, 47 Post Road, Clark, New Jersey. I have great news. I think you'll be very happy with it, too. It took me until about an hour ago to find this out. I called my lawyer, and he didn't respond. I did tell him I was going to be at the board meeting. That's probably why he didn't respond to me. But then I asked AI, artificial intelligence, on my computer, and it didn't give me an answer. I asked and said, what takes precedence, or what's more powerful? An executive order from the president or a New Jersey law? And I actually said from President Trump and Murphy's New Jersey law on LGBTQ stuff. And it came back with saying, well, it doesn't want to answer anything like that. It's too political. AI said that. Then I started thinking about maybe it wasn't a law that New Jersey made, and I looked it up, and again, it was not. It was an executive order by Murphy. So I went to AI again and posed a question without any names, and I said, what takes precedence, a president's executive order or a governor's executive order? And it came out and said directly, he said, the president's executive order is a federal law, and a governor's executive order is a state law. And the federal law takes precedence over the state law. So it seems like a president's law, which says that anybody under 19, he said, executive order, he said anybody under 19 cannot be given any of this LGBTQ crap. And it goes directly against Murphy's order, which says it has to be protected. And also, President Trump also he rescinded all of Governor Biden's executive orders because they would have taken precedence, and they were all bad on LGBTQ stuff. So, Governor and President Trump also said no operations can be done on any student under 19 years old. So it seems like all that stuff is all going to be gone very shortly because it's already in place, and that's what AI said. Well, unless AI can be wrong, it's possible, but so it seems very good. And I also heard today that Governor Murphy, he allowed an illegal immigrant to be housed in his garage or something. So I hope that President Trump has him arrested because he's harboring an illegal citizen.
Thank you, Mr. Agee. Thank you. All right. At that point, anybody else? No? At that point, motion to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Thank you, everybody.